Okay, so I am opening up my Makselife order, and I have never used anything from Makselife. I am trying this out for 2023 because the Power Sheets, the company that sells the Power Sheets, Cultivate What Matters, sold to a different company. So they have a different owner now, and I did not want to purchase from their company anymore. So I am going to try a different goal planner for 2023. I have used the Power Sheets planner for either 4 or 5 years. So I've used them for a long time and I really, really love them. I'm very, very sad that I'm not going to use them for next year, but I'm excited to see what the Makselife goal planning system is like. And so I ordered a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to open it up and give you my first impression. Okay, these are all the items that I got. So I got a pen pouch, and I don't think I ordered the stickers, so I think they just give you a free sticker in each order. So I got these 2 stickers, Flawed and Worthy, and then Living the Moxie Life. I think those are cute. And then I got this stencil that's also a bookmark that you can use in the planner. And then I got these 3 bookmarks that you can use to mark your place. So this week, monthly goals, and my vision. So you could see like yearly goals, monthly goals, and then your weekly. So I like that you could separate those bookmarks, and that way it makes it easier flipping back and forth. And then I got the weekly notepad. So it just says week of, focus, and then it's got Monday through Sunday. It is a sticky notepad, but it's not very sticky. So I got the sticker pack that is dated, and that way I can put the dates and everything, because I believe on the actual planner itself, I believe it's undated. Wait, maybe not. Let me see. Oh no, it is dated. Okay, I don't know why I got this sticker pack. I guess I thought I would use it as like the tending list with the dots, but I don't think I actually needed this. They give you just 4 pages, and it's literally just the month name, the numbers 1 through 31, and then it has a row of circle stickers like that, and then it has a row of flags. So that's a bummer. I thought that I would be able to use these on everything, but I don't think so. Maybe I can see if they'll let me return this as well. Okay, and then I got this pen loop, this adhesive pen holder. Basically what you do is this part sticks onto your planner, and then you have this open holder to put your pen in. So like for here, I could do it right here on the top. I could stick it right there, and then I have a pen holder, or I could do it like on the inside, and or maybe just do it like backwards like that, and then on the outside you're just gonna see it like that, but I could put my pen in it. I got a daily notepad, and then I got another weekly notepad, and I did not realize that I ordered a second one. So I think again this was a mishap. So that really sucks because I don't need 2 weekly notepads, but I don't think they said that they don't normally accept returns, so I highly doubt they're gonna let me return any of this stuff that was an accident. Okay, so the daily one has a place for you to put the date at the top. It has a place for your focus. It has a top 3 section, and then it has a bunch of like a task list with boxes that you can check them off. And then on the right side, this section has a place for you to put the time and whatever you have going on at that time. So if you have appointments or meetings that are time specific, then you can write that down over on this side. And then the bottom has just a little dot grid, and then you've got 3 blank boxes at the bottom. So you could use that as like your meals for the day, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, or you could use it as, you know, maybe 3 habits that you want to remind yourself to complete. So you can write them here and then check them off when you're done. Or you could write what 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And then the grid space could be your habit tracker. So maybe you could do your habit tracker here, 3 things you're grateful for, or your meal plan. And then up here, these are the top 3 tasks you have to get done for the day, your main focus or your theme for the day, or just an encouraging word maybe. And then the date, your task, and your time. So I think this is a great daily notepad. The only thing I'm concerned about is the quality, because it's such thin paper. I feel like anything's gonna go through it. So I'll do a pen test, and I also wanna show the highlighters that I got that are color coded to the goals that Makselife has. So it's these colors right here. So I'm going to do a test with different types of pens that I have, and then I'll do a test with the highlighters on these notepads. And then I'll also do a test in the actual planner as well, so that you can see what pens write well on it and what the highlighters look like on the actual goal planner. Okay, these are all the pens that I have, and that I use most of these a lot. So I'm going to try all of these, and that way if you have any of these pens, you can see what they look like. So I have 8 total ones. I will start with the Zebra Sarasa R pen, and the size is 0.4, and this is in the black. Okay, so that's what that looks like on there. And you can see some shading on the back, but it did not go through to the next page. Okay, the next one is my Pigma Micron pen in 05. That's what that looks like, and you definitely can see some shading on the back, but it does not go through to the next page. So same thing. The next one is my Tombow calligraphy pen. Yeah, same thing, some shading on the back, but doesn't go through to the next page. And then the next one, I use this one all the time. This is the Pentel Energel 07 pen. That one has probably, yeah, I would say they all have the same amount of shading, but nothing's bled through to the next page yet, so that's good. Okay, this is just the Sharpie pen, and I believe this is size, this is fine, so I believe it's like a 0.5 maybe. Yep, same thing. Okay, and then this is the erasable pen by Frixion. I don't know how to say it, but same thing, but that one has the least amount of shading, I will say. And let's see if it actually works and is erasable. Yes, I would say for the most part it erases, but you can still see the shading of what you wrote. So if you were just erasing like a number and changing it, I think it would work for you, but it's not gonna erase everything that you wrote. So this one is the Muji pen in 0.5. Same thing. Actually, this has the least amount of shading, I believe, compared to everything else. And then last is the Papermate Flare. Yeah, that one shades, I would say, not more than any of the other ones, but none of them have gone through so far. So I think it's fine to write on these. So that's good, because it felt super thin. I was afraid that it would go all the way through, but it didn't. Okay, so first let's do the Work and Learning color. And this has 2 sides. So it has a thicker angled side and then a point fine side. Definitely shades through on this, but it didn't go through to the next page. Okay, so there are all the highlighters. So that's what they look like on the notepad. You definitely can see shading on the back, but it did not, none of the colors bled through to the next page. And then I will show you what they look like over top of the pens. And first, let me tell you the categories. So the red is for work and learning. The orange is for fun and recreation. The yellow is personal. The green is financial. The lighter blue is health and wellness. And then the like more teal blue is spiritual and personal growth. The purple is family and relationships. The lighter gray is physical environment. So those are all the 8 areas of life. And then they give you an extra pen that is called the Moxie gray. And that's that darker gray color, which has some like purpley tint to it. So that's what that looks like. It didn't smear the ink. None of the highlighters smeared the pen. I will say the purple one did the tiniest bit. But the rest of them, none of them smeared the actual black ink. However, this did have some time to dry before doing it. So I would just recommend, if you are gonna highlight anything, highlight first and then just write over it with your pen. But if you leave it time to dry and you highlight, it's still not gonna smear it. So at least you know that. Okay, so that is the pen and highlighter test on the Notepad. And now I will do it in the actual goal planner. You get 9 pages, notes pages in the back, so that's nice. Okay, that one smeared a little bit. The Pilot Frisian, and it can erase, but like I said, it leaves a shading. So you can see kind of what you wrote, but. So those are all the pens. Let's see if the only one that smeared was the Pilot Frisian, the erasable pen. That's the only one that smeared right after writing. And wow, there's no shading on the back. All right, so now I'll do the highlighter test, just so you can see the color and what it looks like on this paper. Okay, so those are all the highlighters. I don't think any of those would smear anyway, but let's see. So you can kind of see where the highlight ends on the opposite page, so that you would be able to see to the other side. But for the most part, you can't see the highlighter on the other side of the page. Actually, this time I'm going to write with the pen and then immediately highlight. And that way we'll know if you have to give it time to dry first, or if you need to just do the highlight and then write over top of that. So, I mean, that's what I would do anyway, but just in case, if you've already written things and then you decide to go in and highlight over it, this will help you know if it's going to smear. You definitely can see what you've written, even highlighting with this darker gray, but the Moxie gray, but I would say it's not gonna look the best. I would say to use maybe the lighter one, or you could like underline with the finer tip and just underline what you've written. So, but overall, most of them did not smear. I think the Pilot one smeared a little bit, the Micron did, but all of the rest of them look pretty good. Like, I thought the Papermate would smear out of all of them just because it's so thick and like inky, but it didn't. So the Micron and the Pilot would be the erasable pen, and the Micron, the Pigma Micron 05. Those are the 2 that smeared the most. So I think I'll probably use, I like the Muji pen and the, where is it at? The Energel. These are my 2 favorite pens to write with. I mostly write these or write with these when I'm in any planner or journaling. So I think that I'll probably use these the most. I wanted to show this pen pouch, like what it looked like when it was full of pens. So I'm gonna fill it up. It holds a lot, so that's good. Yeah, so it's like, I would say it's like halfway full right now, and I've put all those 8 pens, and then I put those 9 highlighters in here. So it's got a good amount of pens, and I would say it's only halfway full. So you could fit a lot in here, but basically what you do is you unzip it and pull on these side tags down, and then it's a little pouch for you to get out your pens and highlighters that you can just sit right here while you're planning, and then you're not having to dig through a pouch for your pens, which is super convenient. I love that. Those are the accessories that I got. And then this year, they gave you this for free. It's reflections on your year for 2022. So it's good to like fill this out before deciding what your 2023 goals are. So you have like a year in review page, and then your wins, highlights, challenges, lessons, growth, gratitude, what's working and what's not, impact, adjustments, and then you've got reflections at the back. So it just says like 3 words to describe 2022, 3 words to describe how I felt, 3 words to describe how I want to feel next year, what I'm most excited about, what area of life will be my focus in 2023, what am I going to say no to, what am I going to say yes to in the next year, what am I going to stop apologizing for, what or who will be my support network in the next year, and then a section to write a letter to yourself. And then these are just blank pages, just some note pages for you to brain dump more reflections from the year, and then maybe some notes or brainstorming goals for the upcoming year. So you got this free little notebook, which is nice. I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to open my Makselife Goal Planner, and this box is really sturdy. It's very thick cardboard, and I like the design on it. It looks like it has little suns, and then this is in gold foil. And then I chose the 12-month planner in the retro cover. Okay. And the inside of this is the same as this box design. So it's nice that you get a box you can store stuff in. It's a good, sturdy box. Okay, so let's dive into this because I really want to see what this looks like in person. It has the power in these pages belongs to, so it has a place for you to write your name, phone number, and email. And then it just says, welcome to our Moxie fam. And it just explains like what Moxie means, why they chose that. Sierra Friend is the founder and the CEO of Makselife. And then there's the getting started section. So this is the first tab that you get that's called goal setting. And it just says, I'll just read, like, I'm not going to read through the entire thing because I think it is a lot of reading for the intro pages explaining like how to use the system. So I will just read through like the main things just to give an idea, because a lot of people skip over these pages. And when I was looking at review videos before I purchased, I really wanted to know a little bit more about the system, and nobody was really going into that. They were just like, oh, this is your section on how to use this, and then they just skipped over it. And I was like, well, wait, I kind of want to know like a little bit about it. So it says, Makselife is designed to keep you anchored to your goals, yet remain flexible in their execution, with progress as the primary objective. You have a sacred space to plan what it is that you want for yourself and the freedom to make adjustments throughout the year. This planner will guide you in creating a sustainable habit of taking action on your goals, designing a life that is in perfect alignment with what matters most to you. Make this space your own. There are no rules here. Experiment until you find your flow. The following features and goal setting process have been created to support you in living your very best life by your design. It's okay to make mistakes or even fall behind in your planning. Just pick up where you left off. Learn to rest, not quit. Stay committed to your learning and growth. Focus on doing the things that mean the most to you, not doing more or doing it perfectly. Celebrate your wins, learn from the setbacks, and most of all, be good to yourself. And then it goes through the features. So some of the features, it says weekly notes pages. This is your space. Here are some ideas to customize it, make it your own. So you can use it for projects, lists, notes, reflections, journaling, weekly highlights, budget, or brain dump. And then weekly tips include goal setting strategies, personal development suggestions, and powerful questions to take your growth and learning deeper. So you get like a weekly tip on your planning page. And then there's a gratitude heart. It says, a regular gratitude practice dramatically improves a person's well-being, self-esteem, resiliency, and joy in life. Use the daily gratitude heart as a visual reminder to practice gratitude, or use the space to list what you are grateful for each day. Oh, I love that. I definitely might do that because I already have like a little 5-minute journal that I write in every morning, and I list 3 things that I'm grateful for, and then it asks a few questions like what would make today great, and write your affirmation or whatever. So I like doing that in the morning. So that's good that there's a little heart on every day. And then there's also a habit tracking section every week. And then the steps, it says, so the first step is understanding where you're starting at. So it's basically saying like, you'll rate yourself in the 8 main areas of life through a series of statements. So the information from this assessment will be used to create your intentions, vision, and goals for the upcoming year. So after you go through your assessment of where you're starting at, then you set your intentions. So it just says intent creates action, action creates change. So you'll be guided to set intentions that will give you clarity of purpose in the coming year. And then after that, you'll do your annual goals and vision. So you set your long-term goals, and which gives you a roadmap for the year. And then after that, you'll do monthly goals and weekly actions. So this is where you'll break down your long-term goals into smaller actionable items. So you'll make your monthly goals and then your weekly actions. So basically breaking down those even further. And then number 5 is your monthly reflection and quarterly review. So every quarter you change up things, very similar to the power sheets. And because the power sheets have a monthly reflection page at the end of, I think it's on the back of the tending list, and then they also do a quarterly assessment. So this has that same thing. So this part explains the compass section. So this is where you do that first step of assessing where you're starting at, and it breaks it up into 8 main areas of life is what they call it. So there's personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial, and then physical environment. I really like this because I like these areas of life way better than what they give you in the power sheets. Now, the power sheets, they have these sections of life that you assess in the beginning when you're setting your annual goals. And then you have, I think they used to do it every quarter. I'm not sure if they still do, but it would be like, like significant other, and then family, and then friends. So it was like 3 of the 8 that you got were all in the same category of like your family and your relationships. Because it's like, I don't need to separate out my family and my friends. Like that can be in one grouping together because you're working on those relationships. No matter if it's your family member or your friend, you're still working on your relationship. So it just makes more sense to have it all in one category, and then you're not wasting others. And I like that this one is more detailed, like work and learning, whereas like the power sheets, it would just say work. So, but if you separate out your work goals from your personal goals, then you wouldn't want to have a section about work in your personal goals. So I like that it puts learning, because maybe it's something that you're wanting to, maybe you have a goal to like learn a new language. So this just explains how the compass assessment works. And then you have an assessment scoring. So it helps you find that score, whereas the power sheets, they don't help you find that number. They just say, what's the number from 1 to 10 that you feel like you should rate yourself in that category of your life. Whereas this gives you statements in each category of the 8 sections of life, and you check off if that applies to you, and then that gives you your number in your rating. So it helps you, and then you write your score here. So it helps you get to that score rather than just like guessing what number you would give yourself in a specific category, which was always really difficult to do in the power sheet. So I do really like this part of this. And just as an example, in the personal section, it says one statement is, my basic needs are taken care of. So if that applies to you, then you would check that. You would give yourself a point for that one. So then after you do your assessment, then you set your intentions on this page, and then you pick what word you want for the upcoming year and why, what it means to you. So then you go into, after that, you go into setting your goals. I like that it's asking questions that help you figure out if the goal that you've chosen is actually something that you should have as a goal for yourself, because a lot of times I make a goal and then I really didn't want to do that. Like if I would have asked myself these questions, like, does this goal align with the intentions that I've set for my year? And it doesn't, then maybe it doesn't need to be one of my main goals, you know? So I like that they give you, this is way more guided and helpful. I'm already seeing like this is super helpful in actually creating the right goals for yourself. So I think I'm going to enjoy, I think I'm going to get way more out of this than I did in the power sheets. And I'm kind of surprised because I wasn't expecting that. So the next part is writing your goals. So it's helping you write them in a certain way that actually works. So like it's telling you, for example, this one is clean my garage this weekend. And that's an example of a good way to write it rather than get rid of clutter, because that's so vague. You're not, you know, how do you measure that? So this one's saying clean my garage this weekend, which is getting rid of clutter, but it's actually giving you a way more detailed task. And that way you will feel like you're working towards your goal. Okay, and then it goes into explaining there's 3 types of goals. So there's stretch goals, progress goals, and maintenance goals. So the stretch goals are something that's gonna take, maybe it's like a bigger goal, maybe it's gonna take either a lot more effort or a lot more time to accomplish. So it's saying that you shouldn't choose more than 1 to 3 stretch goals per year. So those are like really big ones that you would need to spend a lot of your time on, and you'd have to break it down and really work on that like through the entire year. And then progress goals, it's saying that progress goals are where you'll spend the greatest amount of time and energy. These goals typically address the things that could use improvement and also offer the most significant opportunity for growth and learning. So these are going to be like, you know, let's say you have a goal to tend to your relationships. The progress goal is going to be constantly doing things for your family or spending time with someone. So these are things that, like, I guess these are goals that are not, there's not really like an end point, because just for example, like with the family goal and tending to your relationships, there's not really like an end goal with that. You're always going to want to be working towards that. So it's just reminding yourself to keep up with it. So those are the, so progress goals are that. And then maintenance goals are kind of like the things that we do on autopilot or in the everyday maintenance of our life. So mainly, I'm assuming like your routines and stuff that you want to keep up with, like working out and writing in your journal or reading or whatever, something that you're doing more often. So I'm feeling like this is kind of like yearly, monthly, and then daily or weekly. Then it goes into annual goals and monthly goals, and it just is giving you like steps on how to get there and tips. And then it goes into weekly. So annual, monthly, weekly. And then it asks you, this is where it asks the weekly reflection questions. There's a weekly notes page, and I think that's where you can write down the answers to these questions every week, but they don't put these questions in that section because some people use that section for something else. And then this section just says things to consider in each area of life when writing goals. So it's giving you words for each 8 areas of life to consider. So like for physical environment, it has home management, house, work, school, car, garage, yard, clothes, furniture, possessions, pets. So it kind of breaks down the sections so that you can more so fit like whatever goals you have, you know which section it ties to. And then this space is for your vision board, I believe. It says use the space to create a list or mind map of ideas, dreams, and goals for the coming year. Have fun, the possibilities are endless. So I think this, yeah, you could use this as a vision board. They might have one later on, I don't know, but this is basically saying you could do a mind map of ideas for your goals. So just a blank page for you to brainstorm. And then it moves into writing your annual goals. So then you pick your actual goal, and there's a lot, they give you a lot of space to write these out. And then there's a section right here under it that says your focus. So you might have your annual goal, but then your focus is like one word. Then at the bottom of each of these annual goals, it says, how will my life improve by reaching these personal goals? So then you can answer like what it will do for you. I don't really see the benefit in that. Like, obviously, you know, when you're making goals, you know that it's going to improve your life in these sections. Like, that's the reason why you're doing it. So I don't really know why you need to answer, how will this improve your life? Like, I just don't get that. Oh yeah, so it does give you a section for vision board. So you have these 2 pages right here for one. So that section earlier is just for a mind map. They give you a lot of space to brainstorm, so that's good. And then there's some goal setting quick tips. So you've got a page of tips. And then this looks like it's going into the first month. So this is going into January. So it says, building inner wealth is our definition of success. So I'm assuming that every month you have like a different quote at the bottom. Yes, this one just says, trust yourself more. And then I think this is like a specific quote from the founder, Sierra Friend, and it says, who you become in the process of working towards your goals is as important, if not more than, crossing the finish lines of achievement. So it's more about who you're becoming while working towards these rather than completing them. So then you move into your monthly calendar. So you got a monthly calendar page, and there is another quote at the top of this page. And then in the bottom corner, you do have the next month at a glance, and then you have a notes section. And it is a Sunday start. I hate that. I don't know why, but it's always like that. Like in the power sheets, it's a Sunday start, but then other places will be a Monday start. It makes no sense. Like their other products, like their weekly checklist will be a Monday start. And same thing for this weekly checklist. It just makes no sense. Why are you gonna have a Monday start everywhere else but the calendar page? Which is annoying. Like, I really like to see my weekends together, because typically when you're going out of town, it's over the weekend. So it's weird to write, like, to have it split up completely across the page from each other of a trip. Like, it's annoying. Okay, so then you have a section to write down your monthly goals. So this is your January goals, and it breaks it up into these sections. And then you still get that focus line at the top, so that you could put like a one-word focus for that specific area of life. And you get another quote. And then you have a blank dot grid page. So then you have your weekly actions right here, and it gives you the actual week that it is. So that's nice. So you know like what dates it is. And then you move into your weeks, your weekly planning pages. And I chose the vertical. So you get like a top section here, I guess, for you to, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what you would use this one little bar for, but because it has the day and the date above it. So I don't know what you would write in there, but then you get your lines. So you just have like a section for your task or notes, or appointments, whatever, I guess your normal planning. I am not going to be using this as my actual like daily, weekly planner. I'm using this as a goal planner. So I will just be writing out in my weeks, my personal task and things like for my goals. I have a separate planner that I use at work. So this will just be like personal stuff and things for my goals. So I guess it is kind of like a planner. Like I'll put tasks like my chores too. You know, I'll include that in here, like laundry, dishes, things like that. But for the most part, I'm not going to be using it as like planning. I'm going to try to look at it every day. Like with my power sheets, I look at it every day because I check off the things that I do on my tending list. So I'm going to try to treat it like that and just have it open to this page and treat this kind of like my tending list, because it does have your daily habits for the week. So you got your daily part here, and then you got your weekly things here. And I could see a benefit of this like notes section right here of rewriting your monthly goals every week, because the more you write them, the more they're on your mind and the more often you're going to work towards them. So after writing your monthly goals here, I think that it would be beneficial to, like, once you write out what your weekly actions are for each goal, planning them and putting them in your week, you know, the tasks that you're going to do for that week, and then rewriting your monthly goals here just to remind you of what they are. And then it looks like, oh, I see. this is like the end of the week. It was weird because it started before that next week, and this is the very beginning, so I didn't realize, like, normally you can use that as your weekly reflection page on your prior week, but to start out with that, it was kind of odd just because you don't have a prior week that you worked on. I guess if you're moving in to this planner from the previous years, then you would need a reflection page on your, like, last week of the prior, you know, the prior year. But since I don't have anything to reflect on for this first week, I probably would just use this to, like, map out things, like do a little mind map. So then you move on to the next week, and this is where you could do your reflection on the week prior. Oh, and then at the end of the month, you have a monthly reflections page. So that's nice. So you'll have that before your next month, and it asks you questions on how your month went, and then you can rate it. And then your colors change for every month. So like the January calendar page, it was like highlighted in blue, and now this is pink. And then March is like a green. So at the very last week of March, you turn to do your monthly reflection of March, and then you have your quarterly compass where you're gonna rate your sections again. So you do your scoring, and then there's a section to write your previous ones and then your current rating to see if you've grown. And then this is like an overall how you were. And then you have a notes page to maybe reset and maybe change your goals, because some people do that every quarter. So then you go into your April, and it's a gray color. And then May is like this light peach. And then June is a light blue. It's all kind of like pastel colors, so very muted. And then I guess you're gonna have another quarterly assessment, yep, at the end of June. And then July is like a darker blue, or kind of like a lavender. No, that's not lavender, that's a darker blue, because this is lavender for August. And then September is like a taupe color. And then you have your other quarterly assessment, your notes. I like that it's just, I know this seems like it's not much, but it does help. Like, I like that it's just a simple one page. You're just rating your sections again, and then you're having a notes page to maybe change up any of your goals. And then October is like this more orangey color. And then November is blue again. And then December is pink. And then at the end of December, you have another quarterly. So you do a Q4, even though I guess you do this to like end your year, and then you'll use it to help you with your quarter one for the following year. So you have that, and then you have a section for extras. So you have a yearly 2023 like calendar at a glance page, and then there's a section for important dates at the bottom, and then you have one for the following year too. And then after that you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lined pages, and then you have a pocket page. So you have a little pocket on this side and on this side, and it seems pretty sturdy and thick. And then you have your sticker page. And then a little pouch at the very back. And it would fit some stuff. It's pretty open. Okay, so that's it. I think my overall impressions is that I think it will be a good goal planner. And I think it's gonna be way more helpful than the Power Sheets. So even though it's not as like pretty, and it doesn't have as many, pretty stickers and things, I feel like it's still a good looking planner, and I think it's more functional. So I think that I'm gonna really like this. I think it's a good change. And if they hadn't have sold to that other company, I probably would have just kept buying the Power Sheets and never tried anything new. So I'm glad that I'm trying this. So that is it. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, please make sure to like the video before you go and subscribe to my channel. I hope this review was helpful, and it probably is super long, but I hope that it helped you if you have not decided what goal planner you're going to use for next year. I hope that this helped you decide if you would like to use the Makselife. I definitely would recommend, and I haven't even used it yet, but just my first impressions and flipping through it, I think that it would be a really great goal planner for anyone. I think that it's super helpful. There's a lot of great tips and they really help you. It seems like they really, really care about you progressing on your goals. Thank you. Bye.